Hey guys, I felt really inspired to share some things today, and it's inspired by me really happening upon a film called Living Proof. This is a film by filmmaker Matt Embry, and it's about his journey being diagnosed with MS and then finding ways to work with that. So I highly recommend this. Definitely if you're diagnosed with MS or if you know someone that is, because it reveals a lot of information that is not at all well known and for sure should be, and also uncovers some things that are covered up and shouldn't be. So I definitely highly recommend that anybody see this movie, and anybody, because the things that they found that are working for halting or at least retarding greatly the process, the disease process of MS, are diet and lifestyle. According to this film, no drug out there has any long-term effect, even though they are marketed to look like they do. Really, really watch this movie. It's just very important, I feel like, that this information get out there. And like I'm saying, the information in this film is great for people with this diagnosis. It's also great for everyone. And something that I remember hitting me like a ton of bricks when I was going through IIN, which is the nutritional coaching school that I went to, was that we are not allowed as non-medical practitioners to address any specific kind of illness. And you're not allowed to say, this thing cures this thing, for a lot of reasons, for a lot of pretty obvious reasons. One of them being that the pharmaceutical industry has a stranglehold pretty much on everything. But there are some other, I think, very valid reasons for that. Obviously, anybody can say anything, and these things are untested and could be damaging. So you always want to, be aware of where you're getting your information from. And something that I sometimes go through is, for instance, Kyle asked me last night if I would be willing to go on and do an interview with him about raw food, sharing what I know about raw food to his community. And yes, I totally am willing and interested in doing that. But my first thought was, oh gosh, do I know enough? And I'm someone who's done raw foods myself for over a decade. So obviously I know how to do it and I know my experience with it, but often I'm kind of, I'll feel like invalidated because I'm not a doctor, or that people won't think, what I have to offer is real or true because I'm not a doctor. And actually, if I really look into that whole idea, which I was doing this morning and have done in the past, I'm actually really glad about that. And some people may be really comforted by the fact that I'm not a doctor. 94% of doctors, it was mentioned in that film, 94% of doctors receive income streams from pharmaceutical companies. So they are under an obligation to prescribe drugs and to also not kind of look outside for other remedies. And are just influenced, right, by that industry. And it is an industry. And one in which this film points out is not always interested in the best interest of the patients. They're more interested in selling their drugs. This is an obvious thing, right? So in some senses, it's a real plus that I'm not a doctor and I'm not influenced by the pharmaceutical company or anyone else. I'm completely 100% influenced by the results that I have gotten by doing my lifestyle and diet changes. And those are really real for me. And I am not someone who started out super healthy, has never had any issues. I'm someone that has a history of pretty severe medical issues that were predicted to, and diagnoses predicted to only get worse as I got older. So I am 51 now, and please know that I also have been sleep deprived for quite a while, partly because I have a 3-year-old daughter who I'm really always working on sleep things with her. And I'll actually talk about that in the next video, because that's something I'm really delving into lately, and it has more to do with me and personal awareness than anything else. So I will make another video on that directly after this one. So my point is, I'm also dealing with that. So I may have bags under my eyes and all of that. I'm coming off of a particularly difficult week with sleep and recovering. But I'm 51. I will, like I said, link my video below where I have a two-part video where I talk about my health challenges and how those have been affected by diet and exercise lifestyle. And sometimes I forget how important it is to share what I know. And it's important because it's absolutely has been massively healing in my life. And seeing things like this Matt Embry movie about MS brings to light the thought that I didn't finish before about IIN, which is that this diet and lifestyle that I sort of stumbled into, that sounds very light. What actually happened was I was in so much pain. I was trying everything. And so what I found making these changes in my life not only healed me, but are coming out in the science and in people's experience in movies like this, in this movie about MS, that lo and behold, if you start giving your body these healthy foods and taking out the toxins, that your body heals and you have these miraculous results. Okay, 2 things. First of all, the thing I learned in IIN was it doesn't really matter that we can't say we can treat certain illnesses, because pretty much everything improves when you change your diet and lifestyle to be more in alignment with a natural diet. And that means not highly processed foods and foods that our bodies are not adapted to eating. So I could go on. There's like 50 videos in every video, right? Oh shoot, now I forgot the first thing. Sleep deprivation, guys, it's a real thing. Gosh, what was it? Let me sit for a second. Okay, it will probably come back to me. I'm not sure what it is. But that it's so important to share this because when it comes around to it, what's being proven scientifically and what's coming out in people's experience and what's just showing up as truth in different avenues is that eating this way and having a healthy lifestyle, it improves everything and heals your body and also prevents you from getting these things in the first place. So I want to take issue a little bit with the term miraculous healing. This implies that something you are doing is healing your body. You have to do this thing and it will heal your body. Okay, so there's truth in that, but I believe it's missing the bigger point, which is your body, given the right inputs, is a self-healing mechanism. It's not something you're doing. It's more you're getting out of the way of what your body naturally does, which is heal itself. Every second, every moment of the day, every night you're sleeping, your body's job is to regulate itself and to heal and create health and wellness. That's what it does. That's what your body does. So just doing these very simple things and getting out of the way of your body actually allows this healing that appears miraculous, when actually what was going on in the first place was basically, we're throwing garbage in and expecting our bodies to be able to run efficiently and optimally on that. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. So I think watching a movie like this can be really motivating to people, because you can see what happens when you do keep inputting garbage, that almost invariably there are going to be issues. They can be major issues, they can be minor issues. More often they are minor issues that turn into major issues later. So I am 51 years old. I am completely free of any of the issues that I have had before. And like I said, watch my video on, I do a lot more in depth on what my history has been. But I'll just overview some things that I can think of at the moment. So I had very severe asthma and allergies as an infant, child, and a young adult. I had severe and debilitating lower back pain from two badly herniated discs. I had arthritis, which I think I forgot to mention in the videos before about my history. I had arthritis in my hip, which was x-rayed, and yep, there it is. That's what's happening. It's just going to get worse, right? I had arthritis. I had really bad acne and skin problems. I will still have hormonal breakouts every once in a while. That's kind of the one thing that will come up still every once in a while. And every once in a while, if I don't take care of myself, I may have some minor back pain. But literally, I healed from pleurisy, pneumonia, and a condition where my lung had encapsulated itself. And I was told that I would 100% have to have surgery. And I said, nope, give me time, and I know how to do this, and my body knows how to do this, and I healed from that, no surgery. My lung function is completely normal. I work out, my body can do whatever I want it to do, which is an amazing way to live in your body. And who needs to have pain, more pain and suffering, on top of the things we all, I think, kind of deal with as far as just personal growth? Who wants to also have bodily pain that's going to take your attention off of that growth and take your attention off of the beautiful world that we live in and all the joys that we can experience in our life and all of the growth and all of the discoveries, and all of that is, I know from personal experience, muted and stamped out when you are dealing with particularly chronic physical pain like I was. So I want you to know that, yes, I'm not a doctor. Yes, that can be a plus. And yes, I can't say this particular thing will heal this particular thing at all, but I can say that proof is coming in that if you give yourself the right food, if you nurture yourself with nature from the inside out, if you nurture yourself with nature from the outside, and if you nurture yourself with movement and attunement to your body and listening to your body and what it needs and giving it that, including rest and relaxation and play, all of these things that we are actually healthily attracted to when we are aware of our bodies and when we are waking up to who we are and in awareness of those attractions to what keeps us in a healthy state of balance in our lives. It just happens naturally. And I promise you that happens because that happened for me. So there are basically no downsides to living in a healthy way, to nourishing yourself with healthy food and exercise. Those are the two things that were recommended in this movie. I go actually even further with how I eat because of some of the, mostly because of I know how I feel when I eat those foods that he recommends. You can eat some of these and you'll probably be okay. I don't do any of those. I'm like, if I feel a negative response from my body's telling me don't eat that. So I just don't eat it. And why would I? And so eating healthily and providing your body with exercise is the two things he recommended are so basic. And these are ways that you couldn't help having lived like this before we are in this time where we are isolated in our homes, where our media and all kinds of other things are ruled by pharmaceutical companies and fast food and interests that are not in alignment with our health and our wellness and just generally our a state of being that is healthy for us. We're living in this time where all of those forces are acting against our natural impulses and natural inclinations and natural connections to those things that keep us healthy, and kind of these influences are numbing us out, and they are encouraging us so that they can make money to not be connected to those things, because those things are all available to all of us and they are all fairly inexpensive, and we don't actually need all of these products that we're being marketed to buy, that we're being told that we need to have. And when that happens, these companies don't make money. So there are obviously massive invested interests in not only us not being connected to what keeps us healthy, but in keeping us unhealthy so that we continue to need their drugs and their products and their addictions and distractions to keep our attention away from the fact that something is really off here, and it's a very simple fix, and that is getting back in touch with who we are, getting back in touch with our nature outside, and that will actually heal us. So that's my message for today, and I am grateful for Matt and Brie for doing this film, and such a good reminder for me that what I have to share is so important, and it's one of those things that, all I'm doing is pointing you back to yourself. If any of this resonates, try it, try cutting out dairy, try cutting out gluten, try cutting out a lot of processed sugars and soda. Pick kind of the biggest offenders that you already know about in your life and start eliminating those from your diet, and get outside and let your body move and just see for yourself what happens. It's a domino effect, and it kind of doesn't matter where you start. It's really just starting and then experiencing the healing that happens, not just physically, but emotionally, psychologically, and mentally. So I can attest to all of this. And like I said, I'm someone with a history of illness that was predicted to just get worse and worse. And I have done nothing but got healthier and healthier since I've been on this track of changing my diet and my lifestyle. So I'm going to continue to share this with you guys. I'm going to continue to say what I know is true, and people can listen to that or not. But I think in the current kind of culture of how things are, people are in a lot of pain. They're in a lot of pain in coming from every direction, and maybe there's an opening and a realization that there are other paths to take than pharmaceuticals and addictions and distractions. And I'm here to say, yeah, you're right. Here's what I'm doing, and here's what's working for me, and here's what I'm continuing to work on. So I wish you all well, and thank you so much for being open to this. Heal yourself and heal the world, just by reconnecting. Live love.